Welcoming all of you to Power Monday. Power Monday is a platform that is hosted by Live Your Dream, usually sponsored by ICT Gurus EA Limited. And Live Your Dream is an organization that is in capacity development. We provide training services, consultancy services, BDS, that is business development services. We provide talks and also team building facilitation. Currently, we are running some program with women with ILO, International Training Center, ILO, that is International Labor Organization, called Women in Digital Business, that is empowering women or women-led enterprises to be able to make a good use of technology in building their businesses. We work with different other organizations alongside just to ensure that people are able to live their dream. So welcome aboard, and if you are here for the first time, we've been doing this for the last 5 years, and we use the same link every Monday unless it is a public holiday in Kenya. My name is Otieno Paul Peter, your host for today, your moderator that is. Most times I'm hosting, but not always moderating. So welcoming all of you to this particular platform, and we are glad to have you and happy you are here. So at this point, I'd like to welcome Lucita the Poetess, Nancy Mora, to share with us what she has today before I invite Antonia to do an introduction of our guest, and then our guest will get started.
Good morning.
Good morning. Good morning.
A beautiful morning, as always. It's a month of love.
Okay.
But sometimes we wait for the love. Or is it that the love waits for us? I don't know. Maybe it's either way. Today's poem is titled, I Waited. Like nikangoja. I waited. I waited. Again, I knocked and I waited. I waited by the window. From dusk to dawn, the stars grew dim, yet hope lingered on. But you were gone. I waited. I waited for love. I don't know what I waited for. You see, tick, tock. The clock ticked slowly. Each second, each minute, each hour. I waited. But you see, silence answered. It was so cold and severe. I waited. I had roses, white red. The roses wilted as I waited. Their crimsons faded. My heart was deeply jaded. You see, love is a promise. I don't know which promise it is, but I waited. The moon rose high with a silver glow. Its light became faint and the sun shone as I waited. I saw my shadow fading away. I waited still. I waited. The wind howled so softly. It mourned its tune beneath the grace waning the moon. My heart ached in a different way as I waited for the season to be off, yet I remained still as I waited. Now the sun is up. Again, it will set, and another day is going to come with unspoken death. I ain't going to forget because I waited for so long. Through the storm and the rain, my joy became pain. Yet still, my love did not wane. I waited. You see, years rolled by and by and by. My heart became adrift in disarray. Still, I waited for the distant day that you will show up through the door. I waited for you. I waited. You see, time has claimed the moment, yet I waited. I am still waiting, though I waited longer. Thank you.
Yes, thank you very much for that waiting and congratulations. You know, it said that patient space, subira uvuta heri. So kusubiri sio mbaya. And hopefully the wait uh, will always give dividends. So thank you for that. Now, Antonia, would you be able to introduce our guest?
Yes, good morning, Power Monday team. It's yet another good morning, and I'm glad to have all of you here. Our guest for today is one who is very instrumental to Power Monday. She is one of us, and I'm glad to introduce her. Eunice Olawo is highly accomplished and multifaceted professional, holding a master's of Arts in Counselling and Studies from esteemed Durham University in the UK, where she specialized in adult and child therapy. She is registered nurse, midwife, and an extensive experience in healthcare. She holds certifications as an international radical aliveness trauma therapist and is currently pursuing further specialization as a transformational breathwork coach. Our expertise extends in psychological training, making well-rounded and dedicated practitioner in the field of mental health and wellness. Throughout her career, she has consistently demonstrated a dedication to her clients and her profession. A well-rounded skill set combined with a compassionate and empathetic approach makes her highly sought-after practitioner in the field of mental health and wellness. Where else can you find such a great expertise apart from Power Monday? Help me welcome Eunice Olawo to come and talk to us. Karibu sana.
Thank you. Thank you, Antonia. Thank you, everyone who has come today. Are you able to hear me?
Yes, we can hear you. We can hear you. And thanks for joining us. You said that you've lost power.
Yeah.
Wherever you are. So,
Yes.
yeah, Nani, Antonia, are you able to project that presentation? Yes.
Yeah, she said so. Thank you so much, everyone, and feel welcome as we look at working smart, working well, and taking care of our health. But we also want to look at how do we balance it in this today of the 2025, especially after COVID, and especially with the matters that are arising in our society. And I want us to know that workplace, wherever you go to work, any moment, you work with your being, human being, akunanga kitu unawacha nyumbani. There's nothing that you look at home that say, this part of my body, I will come back and put it on. So you go with your old self. And that's the more reason why we need to look at how do we make a balance out of all these things. So today, as we start on it, I want to just ask you, what do you know about your breath, how you're breathing, how it is affected with things? What do you know about your circulation? What do you know about all the organs of your system and how situations, how different emotions affect them? And what do you do at the end of the day after work? To just be able to regulate it, to just be able to reset it, to just be able to get yourself to a better state of frame. That the things you went out and shook you or destabilized you, you are able to create time intentionally and consistently on a daily basis to reset your system. So we want to start that life is complex. Yeah, and human beings are complex. And those are truth, that we are complex, and it is well. And none of us will ever talk to God and ask him, this piece of my body, to what extent can it take? And because we are not able to know the capacity, the full capacity, that if I use my ears for the plugging in for 2 hours, that is the maximum I can use that ear for 5 years or for 2 years or for 30 minutes. And that calls for us that to know that the fact that our bodies are adjusting every moment, we push it, we have not slept, we push it, we take coffee and we are able to be awake and operational in the day, does not mean that it is not complaining, it's adjusting. But when will it crash? We have no idea. So I want to start with 2 quotes that it is all about quality of life and finding a happy balance between work, friends, and family. That was done by Philip Green. Then the second quote says, remember, you are more productive when you manage your mental health, your physical and emotional health. The quote is anonymous. So for us to have a work-life balance, one of the things that we need to do is to be able to set boundaries. We need to be able to take breaks. We need to be able to prioritize our time and our values. We also need to look at what are our work culture. We need to review our finances. And we need to nurture our relationships. We need to manage our stress. And we need to take charge of our mental, our physical, and emotional, and spiritual health. So when it comes to reviewing our finances, I always like to just have people know that as a currency, I'm glad that some of my colleagues here in this meeting are working in the bank and all that. But if you were on the 4th floor of life or financially, and you are to fall, you fall to the 3rd floor, do you know you'll just be told, Eunice, it's just a scratch. And that could just mean a financial scratch. It's not so bad. You don't even have to go to the hospital. We can bandage it, we'll massage it, and it will be well. You fall to your 2nd floor, financial 2nd floor. So whoever comes will say, hey, we can help you to stand, but I think you need to see a doctor. You need to be reviewed if it was a physical injury. But if you get to 3rd floor, falling financially, then you will need to be handled carefully, not even standing up. You will need to be helped to stand up. You will need to be helped to be put on a stretcher, or even carrying you. They will need some expertise. Otherwise, even your spine can be damaged completely that you end up on a wheelchair. God forbid, but should you fall like thunder to the ground floor, you are crushed. And it is so important that we look at our life being complex and beautiful and just see how can we do this life in a better way so that we are able to manage it and be able to be whole and be present for ourselves every day for ourselves. Because if we don't take care of it, you know, when you're given a gift, you don't know when it will be taken, you don't know much about it. you're given a gift to live it for the years that God has given to us. We don't know how many years. We don't know much. We've just been given authority to manage it. You don't know when he's coming to take it. We are not asking him that human garage naendaga siku gani, how do I go, when? We just know that life is happening. And the more reason why when we work, we need to look at what work culture have I built? That when we work, we need to ask ourselves, what relationships with myself first? Because wherever I go, I'll go with Eunice. And it is this body that I have, this frame that you see today, that will take me anywhere. Without this frame, Eunice is not there. When this frame is not functioning, Eunice is not there. And so each one of us have their body, their frame. If it is not functioning, we are not there. And it is so important that when this part of this body is not functioning, all of us will attest that we are in so much pain and we are uncomfortable and our productivity is reduced. So as we look at all this, but there is an engine that when it is not functioning and the system is there, we will not be able to work effectively or relate with other people as we ought to. And that's the mental health. All of us are in this country, and we know the stigma that goes with mental health. We know how it is difficult to let people know once you're admitted in Mathare that today you have been discharged and now you're doing well. You've regained yourself. You can be trusted with children. You can be trusted in your family to be left alone. You can be trusted when you visit and your friend is telling you that, no, let me just take something from the shop, and they leave you in with their screen in the sitting room. You get that. It becomes a challenge to be trusted that your mental health is back, even if you know you're operating very well. So I want us to look at life with all that totality, that this gift is able to be pushed. It can give you anything. It will give you everything and anything. So how are you handling your life? Who do you give access to how you're doing life? Who are your peers? Who are your mentors in all areas of your life? If you're married, who are your mentors? Your finances, who are your mentors? Who looks in to tell you? To help you check, because you have your eyes, you have your vision, you have your purpose, but who else do you allow to access to check with you, to just help you? I'm on the third I've just finished with the step, yes, I'm just going to the third, the other one. Please move to the next one, thank you. So here we have a stress bucket. And I just want to introduce you to this to let you know that in this bucket and how you handle your stress, how do you take breaks? How do you take nature walk? How do you take time to talk to friends? And how do you manage your time? All those things count. It is you to balance. And we have several things. When you talk about nature walk, do you hug trees? Do you do earthing? Do you walk barefoot? Do you step on the grass? Because our body is just electricity. There's a lot that happens. How do you take care so that your cells are rejuvenated? Remember, within 24 hours, they are giving new cells every day. But how do you replenish them? How do you support your body cells? Let's move to the next one. So the next one is the grand buffet of life. What are your choices and tendencies? in life. If you were to serve your life today, even today we have been given a chance on this Monday, Power Monday, to serve from the buffet of life. What are your tendencies and choices? What are you putting in your plate of life? So excellence, even excellence in taking care of ourselves, is never an accident. It is done intentionally and consistently. Excellence in balancing our own lives is not an accident. Excellence in creating wealth is not an accident. It's always the result of high intention, sincere effort, and intelligent execution. It represents wise choice of many alternatives. Choice, not chance, determines your destiny. That's what Aristotle that said so. So what choices and tendencies do you have in the grand buffet of life? Like today we have been given this. So I want us to have a few seconds and just reorganize yourself and see how you can breathe in the next slide. And that's what I meant when asking you that, how do you just check on that and just try and see if you can breathe with it. I know the things that you're struggling with. We're trying to reset and reorganize ourselves. So those are some of the things that at the end of the day, you can be able to use to reset your system. And your body will tell you thank you. So that you can be able to do that many times in a day to reorganize yourself and reset your life and be able to not be swept on your feet by the issues of life, to be able to reset your emotions. So I want to ask you, the kind of, when you sleep, how many hours do you give to sleep? Do you know now there are researches that are, the research that shows that if you miss or you're sleep deprived, you can actually lose your mental health, even get diseases. And those are the things that you need to look at. You need to ask yourself, what are you doing to reset your sleep pattern? How are you managing your screen time? How are you taking breaks, including holidays? And holidays is not leave from work and going to work in a different place. And when was the last time that you laughed? And you know there are things that you cannot do in the night, that you cannot wake up in the night like you will wake up to pee. You can never wake up to yawn that ulikuwa unalala, and what has woken you up is to yawn. In a day, have you yawned? Those are the things that we need to look at, because you cannot yawn and think at the same time. So we need to look at all these mechanisms that are there in our lives and be able to use them, just appreciate them and be able to use them, and continue to just look at, when did you laugh? We have that thing of laughter is medicine. That's the next slide. And you need to just check that, when did you laugh? And then we have a personal lifestyle choices. I want to ask you as we move to the next slide. From this learning, from the sharings we have had in Power Monday, from your own experiences outside, what did you want to start in order to take care of yourself? Better, to bring a balance, to make you enjoy excellent life and quality life. What did you want to stop? And what would you like to keep? That's a personal choice, and I want to just be able to reflect on it moment by moment, start, stop, and keep. What would you like to start, to stop, and keep as we come to an end? And when we do that, then we'll be able to build resilience. And in this country, we need to look at how do you build vicarious resilience, because we have so many things like trauma coming, national traumas, your own personal trauma, your own family trauma. And then you look at how do you take care of yourself. And that's the end of my presentation. As we look at that, stop and smile. So we want to ask ourselves, what are you going to start? What are you going to stop? What will you keep in how you want to live your life and balance it? Because it's a gift given to you for free. But you take care of it, it will serve you with excellence. I want us to have time for questions. And thank you very much for listening.
Yeah, so it's question time. Let's put our questions in the chat, then we will read them out, and Eunice will gladly join, get to answer them. So Eunice, some would be asking, where do you get this time for holiday? You are saying we cannot carry holiday. We cannot move from work to another work and call it holiday. Yes. So where do you get that time now? Somebody has also asked here, Farmerman, 2 questions. Question 1, Farmerman is a Gen Z, and I use AI on automation in my 80% of my work. So does technology enhance my well-being or hardens my well-being?
Can I bring an answer to that? Or the
Yes.
first two?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
So technology is beautiful. I've seen even riders putting their phone in the ear here, trap it throughout. The question is, that vibration and radiation from the gadget, what is it doing to your ear? And when your ear is gone, balancing, even coordination will become difficult. I think one of the things that we don't know, but the Bible says my people perish because of lack of knowledge. AI is beautiful, screen is beautiful, but what is the challenge to us mostly is that research is always done after we have exhausted our system and some people have died. So would you allow yourself and give yourself permission to just check? What is your sleeping pattern? How many hours do you give to the screen? Are you destroying yourself for the shortest time to get everything and not enjoy it by being overusing yourself on the screen? How do you take care of yourself? Yes, because screen, when you expose yourself to too much screen, I know some of us even have the phones under the bed with notification, pale kwa pillow. So then you're not sleeping well, you check it. So it is about looking at how do you bring moderation to this?
Yeah, the other question was where you get all the time, but then there is also question number 2, which farmer brought in. Is work-life integration balancing time at work and life, or it's creating harmony between personal and professional goals?
Let me talk about how do we get time. We all have time. We only prioritize what we think. Remember, what we think is important to us, but we have not asked the body. So this tool will just get you to function and do what you want. But at what point do you listen to it? And also feed it. You know, the beauty is you buy a car and you even know when to get insurance, renew it. You even take it to the garage consistently. If you were to give yourself your car to a friend, in fact, there's a friend of mine who once told me the husband bought a car and she said, hey, Eunice, the guy cleans the car more than the time he spends to bathe himself. So you can imagine how we love this gadget. How about you? What time do you spend to just even admire your nails? Have you ever even said thank you to your nails, to your ears? even to your buttocks that are sat to give you perfect things that you are quality. When you're signing those documents, when you're driving that car, if the buttocks refused, you would not drive it. That's the fact. When was the last time you massaged it and just said thank you? Even today, we woke up, we have opened our eyes. Did you even say thank you? You wake up, you step on the grass. You have not even made, you're not, that's none of your business what you're going to step on. God has already given you that. Would we say we don't have time? Or would we say we have missed priorities? We have a machine that as long as it's working, we put it on to work. And we don't care how to rejuvenate it, how to reset it. All of us have time. And we can give ourselves time to go for holidays, whether we are going for holidays in the village, wherever, we all have time. It's a matter of, do you prioritize it?
Beautiful. So there is that question on what work-life integration means, whether it's balancing life, work and life, or it's integration, if it's creating harmony between personal and professional goals.
It encompasses all that because you cannot withdraw yourself to put it in one corner. Work-life balance will come with everything creating harmony. Because you're one system when you go to work. But as you work, do you know you're working with your brain that needs to be taken care of? And harmony and all that. So it is everything. And it cannot be separated to be one area. Because even in that work, your soul needs to be fed. I was reading somewhere about, and I was reminded that how come when we are alive, we never pray for our souls? And when we die, people say, oh Lord, rest their soul in peace. That is what we pray. And we never pray for our souls to have peace here when we are alive. And I said, wow. So I checked the Bible about the soul. And there are so many prayers and information about the soul. And I just concluded, indeed, the word says, my people perish because of lack of knowledge. When we die, we pray for this soul to rest in peace. When we are alive, we never even recognize, even had time to pray for our soul to have peace.
Because we will have peace when we live.
We need to have peace here as we wait, according to the poem today. We need to have peace here. We need our souls to flourish, to thrive. I was just amazed.
Yeah.
So it's one of the things that we need to pray for.
That's beautiful. I love that angle. Then somebody asked, that is John Mune, how many hours should one sleep? Oh, we are so busy 24/7. How many hours should one sleep? And then another person, June, says, what is your opinion on oversleeping as pertains to health and wellness? So it's
about how many hours? Let's start with that. How many hours? Ideally, I'm talking about ideally, we should sleep from 7 to 8 hours. That notwithstanding, we can do sleep recovery. You have lost sleep hours. Can you get time to say you're recovering and get to sleep? And I want us to know the basic, just the basic. When we sleep, even an hour, power nap in the day, you don't wake up and go to the bathroom to freshen up. But when you sleep at night, you wake up, you had a shower, but you wake up in the morning, the first thing you feel, you need to freshen up, have a bath. So the mechanisms of the things that happens in this body when it sleeps, there are things that only God knows how it was done. And it's for him. But just being able to look at the mechanism of the processes that happens when you are asleep, plus the hormone that can only be produced when you are asleep, and you don't know whether it is when you sleep from 9 to 10 or to midnight or from whatever, you get that. So you can imagine when you miss that, and we know how irritable we are when we have not slept well. Please do sleep recovery. That's what I would say. If you're not able to do 7 to 8, please make sure you got sleep recovery. A bout of oversleeping could be due to many factors, and it's not healthy. Is the person sick? Is the person going through depression? Are they starting sleep late and therefore they are getting sleep early in the morning to extend? Because it is not a normal thing to oversleep. And so it's something that we need to check. What are the reasons? So that this person is not going slowly to depression.
So what qualifies to be oversleeping? Is it 10 hours? Is it 12 hours?
I think anything from 10 and above, 9 going to 10 daily, you may say is oversleeping.
I see
But I
Gen
know
Z
we also
sleep like crazy. I see some Gen Z sleep like forever. Somebody started sleeping and the whole day they've not gotten out. They are still sleeping, and you wonder, are they sleeping or what are they? Okay.
unless they're doing recovery, they are recovering from the sleep. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, then there is somebody who said, that is Nelly Kimani. Thank you for the talk. I'd request more action points. You mentioned yawning, laughing, screen time. What are the checkpoints? What are more action points?
Some of the checkpoints is just look at the tension that you even have in between your finger here. If it was to be massaged, because you can even do this. I do this a lot to massage here. We have a lot, as the way the muscles are in the system, you'll find that it is painful if it has a lot of stress to the muscle. The knuckle massage here, you know, we use our face, even the guy who was saying that he's on AI, we are always like this, and the machine here. So there's a knuckle massage that you can do this and be able to just take care of this jaw, the jawbone. There's also the tapping that you can do to release emotional tension. You just to put your finger like this, the two of them, and you tap like this. And you'll find that there are places in your system that have electricity. They have a sensation like electricity that you can be able to do. Create time to walk barefoot on a safe space. And that is called earthing. I know there is earthing mat that people can now be able to buy. In African context, we are lucky that the weather is good. We can walk. And I know we were made to think of, don't step out without shoes and all that. Yes, shoes are beautiful, but we need to create time to walk on the feet, on the ground, barefoot on the ground. Yeah, and if you are busy and you can actually put soil on a container, you are there on your laptop, but you're stepping on the soil, you'll still be doing earthing. Go out to get to the safe forest, have a forest bath, please hug trees. You'll be amazed at the beauty of hugging a tree. I did that yesterday, I do it often. You'd be amazed at the health of hugging a tree. It actually grounds you. Yes.
Okay, hapo kwa hugging tree. But let me ask you, we can always hug other people. Now, how about, does walking on the ground include walking on the floor barefoot? Like maybe because most floors, we can talk of tiles, cement, whatever. Is that included?
No. We talk of the ground in terms of soil and on the grass. You know, when I say the body has electricity, when you look at all the electrical work done on the building, they have a wire called earthing. Isn't it?
Yes.
Yeah. So just to tell you, what is the work of that earthing? Every time, and in fact, this earthing help even in treatment and regulating diseases in our systems. For true.
Yeah.
When you touch soil, you know, even in your balcony and all that, yeah, it's a beautiful thing. Yeah.
Thank you very much. Then Matthew Nyang'ore, good to know you are here, Matthew. Where discipline is key when it comes to work-life balance. What are key strategies that that one can employ when working far from the family, e.g., working in Wajir and family stays in Kuria?
Long distance relationship, family meaning wife and children. So that's somebody who is married. They probably, yes. So there are a lot of things to look at. Long distance relationship comes with challenges. You're working far, meaning you have no accountability. No, I'm going for exercises. Nah, you're not going. And you know. There's no one who can say, like, can we go for a walk together? So you don't have all those things. So how can you take yourself for a walk? How can you take yourself for these things that we're talking about of healthcare? And how do you take care of your sexuality? Because hata huko umeenda nayo. So all those things are there in our lives. So how do you take, the place is hot. So at what you need to strategize the time you can be able to walk, the time you may do your meditation, and you can do meditation using the word of God if you're a Christian. So it is not evil. Use the word of God and do meditation. You can also look at, how do I take care of my mental health? Instead of saying, I'm so bored now, I have no one to talk with, so let me take alcohol. There are a lot of things that you can do. Or let me now scroll my phone and use or just finish work, and just when I finish, I just go and drop dead to sleep. So you need to be creative and look at, even in that long distance relationship, you're still responsible to this body, your frame. How do you take care of it? Because Umen and I. Yes.
Thank you. Yes, then somebody has asked, this is Odhiambo Lale, what advice do you give to new trend of work at home? You're working at home, flexi hours. What what advice do you give?
I think it's a beautiful thing. It's a beautiful thing to be able to work at home, knowing that you can only, but don't work at home and have water and everything, because you sit for more than 2 hours, you're like somebody who has smoked. So please go out and get water. Get to a place where you can do breath exercise, breathe in and out. Make sure you lift your feet up. You know, there's a lot that you can do when you're working at home. And also don't work at home and have the the idea that the fridge is home and you can be able to nibble, warm, and all that. It's about knowing that wherever you go, you are responsible for the frame that you're taking care of. Not to overeat, to just also be able to log in enough hours for that day. Yes.
Thank you. Yeah, somebody, Evan, said he doesn't consider that to be working. It's like holiday throughout. So does he really need a holiday? But then over and above that, somebody has also asked, how do you calculate recovery hours?
Recovery hours from sleep?
Yes.
I think it's just about looking at you know, we all have patterns. You'll get people say, me, I always go to bed at 10. But what things do you do before you go to bed? So that usiingie kwa kitanda na umeanza mambo zingine. That you still checking your mails and all that. But how many hours do you put for sleep? For you to be able to look at, can I recover? I start sleeping at 11, by 5 I'm up. You just do the calculation and say, every week, I extend my sleep and I get my 8 hours within the weekends and all that. Yeah.
Beautiful.
They're very, very personal things, but we need to recover from the sleep.
Yeah. Odhiambo Lale usually walks in the forest. Odhiambo Lale, you can now hug trees. He's saying, hug tree, I love it. But then when Jiro says, people will think you are mad when they see you hugging trees. Yeah?
No, it's our idea that people will think you're mad. If people think I'm mad, am I mad? The answer is no. Yeah, people may think I'm mad, but I know I'm not mad. And with time, I mean, I hug trees and people have asked me why. I say, just check it online, please. You have a smartphone, please check it online, you'll get the benefits. And it's like, oh my, I didn't know. Yeah. And it's the same thing we talk of my people perish because of lack of knowledge.
Yeah. Okay,
Yeah.
okay.
So I keep referring people to that. Hugging a tree, please check it online, you'll get researchers done. They have time, they can also check for themselves.
Yeah. Everyone asked about working from home. Does he really need a holiday? It's only people who make him worked up. Otherwise, he's always okay.
All of us, he is working. The bottom line is that he's working, but in a different setup. So he still needs holiday. He's working, but at home.
Good.
Holidays means time that you are rejuvenating, time that you probably are in solitude, that you are reflecting. You're giving your brain time to rest and reset. You're giving yourself to reflect on yourself.
Great.
And you're either enjoying nature or walking and just doing. You don't have anything behind your back that pushes you that you need to do this and all that. You're basically lowered your guards down. To reset, you have time to go for a walk. You're just chilling, you're resetting your system, the kind of food you're putting in, because what we feed on again is another thing that can put us off balance of life.
Then there is from Lemi, what are some of the discipline areas to focus in order to manage phone overuse during self-time, work, or and other important areas in life like yoga? What are the discipline areas that people can focus on?
One of the things that we need to look at, the phones are beautiful. But what are you using it for? And at what time? If I know that in the morning I will check my mails and I check updates and I have meeting and that's all, any urge in between, because people get addicted to phone, any urge in between, I would remind myself that it's not time. Have you ever seen how you can get disoriented and not able to work because you left your phone at home? And you went with your brain to work. And you have yourself to perform. But just the fact that you left it, not saying that you left it and your wife or your girlfriend will access it or your boyfriend will access it, but just that you left it makes you feel overwhelmed that you think you're not able to be productive. Then we know there's something wrong.
Thank you. I think we've done enough of the questions. We can call on Odhiambo Lale to give us a vote of thanks. As we're doing that, just to remind people that these sessions are always there every Monday between 7:15 to 8:15. You can, and Eunice, you can also put your phone number in the chat for people who may want to reach out to you, and they will be able to reach out to you. Odhiambo Lale.
Good morning.
Good morning.
I hope you can hear me loud and clear.
Yes, we can hear you.
Yes. May I thank Eunice for such a wonderful presentation, and a reminder that sleep must also have its hours. Just like when you go to the office, we have the expected work for 8 hours. So even for our sleep, there's a reason why God created day and night. and night is for us to sleep, for those who are doing normal work. And it should also be limited. And then the other thing you've said so well is that even the work and life balance, we need to be.
Maybe a phone got in and is using a phone. The phone call
But
came
it's
in.
very, very therapeutic. Thank you so much, Eunice, and we look forward to even more insights from you. You have shared your WhatsApp number with us, and for those who like to do nature trail, nature walk, let a tree is therapeutic. It's not like we are showing signs of joining what we like to make fun of. They were Night Runners Association. So Eunice, thank you very, very much. And for everybody who came on board, tunashukuru sana, and we look forward to another session. Thank you.
Great.
Have a blessed day.
Thank you. And now you can always hug trees whenever you go for walks. Good. So Antonia, any announcement before we go?
Sorry. Mine is to welcome our newest babies on our WhatsApp. That is Collins. And who else did we welcome this week? Yes, there were two. So karibuni sana, and thank you for joining us. I trust once we join, we are able to see some of the guidelines that have been posted at the information corner and follow. And this week, I trust our chairman did an elaborative structure of how we run Power Monday, and it's good for us to comply. Thank you. So once again, I welcome you all. If you've never attended the meet and greet, you don't need to miss this one. It's one of the greatest. And that's where you'll be able to meet Eunice one-on-one, and she'll be able to share more of what she does. She just touched a nutshell of all that she does. She's a powerhouse, so you need to meet her in person. She calls me Jeba. I don't know what that means.
Jaber.
Thank you so much.
Jaber, not Jeba. Look at you.
Oh.
No, it's Jaber.
Okay, good to know. Good
Okay,
to know I've been
thank
given
you.
a new
Yeah,
name.
at least you've made us laugh. You know, we need to find opportunities to laugh, and you just go laugh. I think maybe that is also part of what you can do in the forest, or what? Yes, Eunice. So I think with that we can just let's mark the date. The date is on 29th of next month. That is when we are going to have a meet and greet. It's the last Saturday of March. The last Saturday of March will be on 29th. We will have a meet and greet again in Nairobi. And during meet and greet, you can always come with what you sell. You can come with the products that people usually buy, by the way. And you come, network, know each other, put faces to the names, and we will meet, of course, in Nairobi. So far, we've not been able to have a meet and greet outside Nairobi. We hope that we will be able to do that as time goes by. Maybe we'll be meeting in different cities of Kenya, and that will be part of holiday. Maybe we'll be creating for people holiday time. You go, we go on a Saturday. We have Power Monday wherever we are, and then we come back on Tuesday. Can organize such, but for now, let's plan with that date. It will be on 29th of March, and we will meet at JJ McCarthy. We are going to give details of what we need to pay. We usually take lunch and then take also the 4 o'clock tea and snack as we share, as we learn from each other and engage. It's quite therapeutic as well, quite beautiful, and so you don't want to miss. And we also usually have games. Yeah, so we've also put a link there for people who may want to join our WhatsApp group for continuous engagement. Apparently, for meet and greet, we don't just broadcast it to everybody, we share it in the WhatsApp group only.